All right, guys, my bad, my bad. I probably should have talked about this when the article came out, but A, I was ticked off about the article. B, I just kind of let it go. And C, I was at the relocation retreat. But so many people wrote me, Michael, why haven't you talked about this? Michael, you got something to hide? You trying to protect your interests? No, that wasn't it. I'll talk about it now. I got no problem with it. What am I talking about? Well, apparently, Costa Rica is a little bit more dangerous to travel to. Yep, the US upgraded its Costa Rica travel advisory from a level 1 to a level 2. I'm going to talk about that in a minute and why I'm pissed. It's probably not why you think. Anyway, guys, I'm Michael Allen for TravelCostaRicaNow.com. TravelCostaRicaNow.com is a travel agency, so go to TravelCostaRicaNow.com. Fill out the 4-minute form. You'll be that much closer to vacation of a lifetime like you. Having best friends who live in Costa Rica, who know Costa Rica, totally hooking up your Costa Rica vacation. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd appreciate it. And if you want to see videos as we put them up, you got to hit the notification bell. And yes, we have another relocation retreat coming up in a few months. So if Costa Rica's on your radar, thinking about living here, but you're not quite sure, maybe the retreat is for you, all that info is in the description. I would love to see you there. All right, so this came out about 3 weeks ago. The U.S. government did change their upgraded their Costa Rica travel advisory from level 1 to a level 2. They only have 4 levels. What's level 1? Level 1 is when they tell U.S. citizens should exercise normal precautions when traveling to Costa Rica. U.S. citizens should exercise normal precautions. So they upgraded that to a level 2, which is a little worse, especially for Costa Rica. Level 2, U.S. citizens should exercise increased caution. So you got to take your precautions and add a little bit more caution to them, and then you'll be ready to go. Now, why am I upset with that? So first off, okay, a couple things. I'm going to be a little sarcastic. I don't mean to be. Sometimes I can't help it. Okay, first off, some of you guys aren't seasoned travelers. Maybe you've never been to Costa Rica. I mean, you got to start somewhere. Maybe you're young. Maybe you haven't traveled around. Now, if that's the case, I just put up a great video about 3 weeks ago. It's about 30 minutes long, but it's the best travel tips. So when you come to Costa Rica, you are ensured to have a great time with no problems, no frustration, save you money, all that. So again, I understand. Now, some of you guys are travelers, world travelers, common sense, all of it. So when you come to Costa Rica or you go anywhere, it's pretty much the same, right? You don't travel alone. You tell people where you're going. You're not wearing your Rolex and your diamond rings on your fingers and your wrist. You're not getting drunk at clubs and taking random people back to your hotel. When you go from club to club, you take taxis. You don't take a bunch of money. You lock your passport and your valuables in the lock at the hotel. You know, all that. And you tell someone where you're going to be. If you're traveling by yourself and you're going to a national park that not too many people go to, maybe you should put it on your Instagram. Hey, I'm going to this national park at 9. I'll be back by 4. If you don't hear from me, I might be in trouble. And I just know one thing. A lot of people can travel down here. They're seasoned travelers and they can travel by themselves. I meet them every day. But it is true when bad things happen, it is usually with people, usually a solo traveler that it happens to. But this isn't my problem. I got no problem with the government's doing you a service. They're doing you a service like, hey man, if there's a war zone going on, maybe you shouldn't travel to this particular country, or you need to exercise extreme precaution. So I have no problem with that. But what's rich about the United States, I think it's just the way they do it that rubs me the wrong way. It's like they're the king on the throne, the purveyors of safety and security when you travel. So what I think they know that this hurts Costa Rica. They know it hurts Costa Rica. So you might be laughing. It's like, Michael, level 1 to level 2, just exercise more precaution. Yes, but you don't know. People take that serious. They really, obviously, if we haven't learned anything in the last 2 or 3 years, people are easily led. So when they see something like this, they're like, honey, we can't go to Costa Rica. Crime's going crazy. Government just came out. raise the level. Oh my gosh, there's robbers around every corner. We can't go. You can laugh if you want, but trust me, I get the emails. Is Costa Rica safe, Michael? Is Costa Rica safe? So this hurts Costa Rica, and tourism is their baby. All right. So does crime happen here? Yes. Obviously, there's always something. There's not always, but bad things happen. You know, this is a country like your country, and of course, the bad stuff always gets the headlines, right? So yes, we've had tourists that have been raped before and even killed before. Yes, sorry that, but it's a vast exception to the rule. So again, also not my beef. My beef is with the government. I think here's how I wanted to do it. So now it's U.S. citizens should exercise increased caution. What I want them to say is U.S. citizens should exercise the same precautions they would have when traveling in New York City or Los Angeles or Chicago, because the same things apply. So, because people can understand this. If I said, exercise precautions when you're traveling around New York City, and I lived in New York City, I said, well, maybe you shouldn't ride the subway, to this particular part of town. Maybe you don't do this. You kind of know, you know the rules of the area that you live in, and people can understand. Oh yeah, that's where the gangs are. That's where the drugs are. That's where the problems are. And you just don't go in those areas. People can understand that. They can kind of go, yes, that city, my city has that problems too. But when they say it kind of like they say it, people just have that unconscious bias of like, Costa Rica is a third world country. There must be some big time problems. No, they're like yours. They're freaking like yours. Yes, San Jose. If you think San Jose is totally bad, which I don't, I think you can spend time there with taking the precautions that you would anywhere in any city. I think you could go there. But if you think it's going to be a problem, get out of San Jose, because that's where almost all the things that they're advising you to stay away from are. That's where most of the crime is. That's where most of the drugs is. That's where the most bad things are happening. And it's mostly bad people doing bad things to other bad people. And remember, coming and vacation in Costa Rica is different from living in Costa Rica. I would say I probably would have more things to worry about living here than you would be as a tourist, as long as you used common sense. So that's the only thing I don't like. If they could just kind of say it in a way where people can understand, oh yeah, there's bad sections I should probably stay away from. And oh, I understand that drugs and, bad people. But when they say it, oh yeah, crime's on the rise. Yeah, in your cities too. I've seen the videos. So you get what I'm saying? So I just, I wish they would word it in a different way so people would have a better understanding of what actually, be more aware or, take more precautions actually means. Don't go in that area down there, San Jose. That's where bad stuff happens a lot. But there's a lot of great places in San Jose that's not an issue with common sense. The other thing I'd like to say real quick, people will go, I was coming out of the airport and into San Jose, and all I saw was barbed wire and bars on the windows. Yes, you did. You know why? Because we're not as rich as you. We don't have key card accesses and security guards everywhere in gated communities. So they have to use something a little bit more inexpensive to protect their property, and that usually you just have a prettier barbed wire, a prettier bars on the windows. I have bars on my windows. And there's really not a lot going on in Fortuna, but it's just a nice deterrent. And everybody has bars on their windows because it's a decent deterrent. You don't really got to worry about it. But there's not gangs of people roaming around. Just got some drunk dude that just, the door's open. Let me go in and see what I can find. You got more stuff out of opportunity. The fact that a violent crime would happen to you as a tourist down here is very, very slim, no matter what the U.S. government says. Now, if you're a drug dealer coming down to pick up drugs and you're with the bad element, all right. So again, the whole barbed wire and bars are just a cheaper way to protect their property. Yes, I know cameras, right? And you probably should have them, and I would have them anyway. But excuse me, this is kind of sad to say, and I suck saying it. I can do it from personal experience and other people. We had a camera shot of the guy coming through the window. We took it to the police. You know what they did? They all looked at it and they started laughing. Oh, there's Jose. There's Jose doing robbing another house. The police suck down here. I'm sorry, they just do. They just do. Now, I could talk a lot about that, why I actually don't mind that, but for this video, no. But anyway, the police just don't do a whole lot down here, so the camera footage, you need something a little more than the cameras. You definitely need like the barbed wire or the bars. So, guys, you could come to Costa Rica. You're going to be fine. Trust me. The travel advisory. I will let you know. If you shouldn't be coming to Costa Rica, I'd be the first person to go, oh, damn, it's dangerous, girl. I'm Michael Allen, travelcostarica.com. Peace, guys. Hope it helps. Things are going to pop up. Always do your homework and research when you're going anywhere or traveling anywhere or you want to live anywhere. And I would say, if it's Costa Rica, I would start with my videos.